It's what the British people want. It's the will of the people. Well, maybe some people, but is it yours? Probably not from what I've seen and heard of public opinion. Most people are more worried about paying their rent or mortgage, paying their energy bill, or even paying for food. But these bastards never let the truth get in the way of a good soundbite, do they? The government has introduced a bill saying Rwanda's a safe place, so we can send asylum seekers there. One of the results is that if any of them commit a major crime and serve a long prison sentence over there, we'll take them back after. So we'll allow the dangerous ones back. So far, so crazy. But it's been revealed that the government's Rwanda scheme will cost around £300 million, and it's unlikely to ever send more than 100 people a year. Compare that to the 30,000 who came across last year on small boats, even if it gets off the ground. About the same as the number of Rwandan refugees we've said we'll accept from them who aren't safe. But how can they not be safe in Rwanda when you're passing a bloody law that says it's a safe country? Based on that thinking, why not pass a law saying a cost of living crisis is over, energy's cheap, and their country hasn't gone to shit? It'll obviously make it true. They've started framing this as an international development issue, so they'll probably end up taking the cost out of the aid budget, if there's anything left after they paid from the hotels from it. So hey, win-win for the government. Rishi is said to be laser focused on stopping the boats, and they see the Rwanda plan as a way to deter people they call illegal migrants from risking their lives getting to the UK. These people have left a life threatening situation due to war or their beliefs, or simply how they are, travelled halfway round the world for which they paid a small fortune, crossed the deadly English Channel in a tiny dinghy, and there's a 1 in 3,000 chance they'll get sent to what we're calling a safe country. Even if they're aware of the law change, is this really going to be a deterrent? Rishi's just playing to the gallery and trying to appease the right wing press who are loving this, because when the country's going to shit, what you need is a scapegoat, and immigrants are an easier target than the real criminals who are the ones in power. It's not the fault of immigrants that the NHS has a record waiting list. There's a cost of living crisis, the courts are backlogged, the prisons are overflowing, and basically nothing works in the country. It's the fault of 13 years of Tory government. The fact is they've backed themselves into a self-made corner where they need to stop the boats at any cost. And here's how fucking stupid this stop the boats narrative has got. You got Tories in the centre of the party, rightly saying the new bill goes too far, while the right wingers think it's fine and doesn't even go far enough. They want us to pull out of the ECHR, the European Convention on Human Rights. Brexit was about taking back control of our borders, is what they say. But the ECHR is nothing to do with the EU. It's a treaty signed and followed internationally, except for countries like Russia and Belarus. Do we really want to be outliers with them? And those rights, as the government full well knows, won't just affect migrants, they'll affect the rights of every one of us. You know, the little things like the right to free speech, anti slavery, etc. But this so called illegal immigration is only around 5% of the total immigration. The other 95% is made up of people coming to fill our job needs in areas like care and the NHS, and by students, which brings in an enormous amount of country money to the country. The latest brilliant plan is to cut this number, which they've been saying they'll be doing for years but have failed miserably at, and it's to introduce a minimum salary level of £38,000. The care sector and the NHS depend on migrant labour, and there won't be any or many of them earning that money. So who's going to look after your elderly family members or vulnerable people? Here's an idea: let the migrants work while their claims being processed. And this new bill can only increase the already record-breaking NHS waiting lists. And to make things worse, people who do qualify won't be allowed to bring family with them. So not happy with destroying families in this country, these bastards could effectively destroy families abroad. And what about people who currently have a partner from abroad who needs to renew their visa? The government haven't clarified whether they'll be told to leave the country if they're not earning that much. Or someone who lives abroad with a partner, and if they want to return to the UK, they have to choose between coming back or splitting up. And if you're thinking they wouldn't do that, remember the Windrush scandal. Austerity has stripped back public services, with many of them now tendered out to private companies who get profits that would otherwise go towards the funding, and the government is trying to push the NHS in the same direction. It's the oldest trick in the right-wing political book. Find or even create a problem, offer a solution that fits with your agenda, blame one section of society, in this case immigrants, say the answer is to punish them, and somehow make sure all your buddies profit from it. If you think maybe the government has got this one wrong, why not subscribe now and give this video a share? It really helps small channels like this. And don't forget, turn on notifications.